Wonder Woman is surprisingly good. Better at least than the other films out of the DC works recently. The negative to mediocre responses to Man of Steel and Batman 5 Superman definitely resulted in some trepidation around this film for me, so much so that I didn't even watch it until about a year after it was released. Diana Prince,
daughter of Hippolyta, Queen of the Amazons,
is the daughter of Hippolyta, Queen of the Amazons. She lives on a mysterious island with a civilization of warriors who are also women. She joins a man to fight in World War I. Joseph Campbell called it the monomyth in his 1949 analysis of mythology, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, later terming it the hero's journey, a series of overarching plot points that most stories can be observed dipping in and out of from time to time. Following the template is often looked on as lazy storytelling, and while it can often result in predictability, it also forms the basis of a comprehensible, well-made and generally entertaining plot. Wonder Woman follows the journey and ties it together with charm and finesse, resulting in a fleshed-out story that's paced well and presents us with interesting, if a little underdeveloped characters. Unlike films like Justice League, who have little to no build-up and rely mainly on introducing as many characters into the story and then cramming them into the thread. The casting is another detail to praise about this film. Gal Gadot does a great job portraying innocence and blindness to the world, and Chris Pine, who played Diana's partner Steven Universe, really does sell the combination of masculine hero with sidekick well. Ensemble casting was on point as well, with Steve's team being convincingly un-Disney enough as to resemble real people. Props to Danny Huston, who played a fictional version of Eric Ludendorff, the film's secondary antagonist, and who you might recognise as the Axeman from American Horror Story Season 3. Lastly, the attention to set design is incredible. Themyscira, Diana's home island, looks vaguely Mediterranean and pops with a colour palette of greens and deep blues. 1940s London and the surrounding 1940s London and the surrounding country as it slowly bleeds into German territory looks grim, aided by a greyish filter and depressingly worn down and ruined buildings, definitely realising the backdrop of a world at war with itself. As with most films, the third act was its weakest. Tensions built up over the journey to the front were released with the death of Ludendorff, a place in the film that might have been good to stop at once Diana's expectations had been subverted with the true horror of human bloody-mindedness. Instead, the film ends with a disappointingly mediocre battle with Ares, grinding the film to a halt as the two pummel each other while the god spouts religiously.
Finally, you see. Look at this world. Mankind did this, not me. They are ugly.
Though a good performance from David Thewlis, the final battle left much to be desired, especially when there was a much more interesting character just off screen in the form of Elena Anaya's Dr. Poison, who didn't have much of a personality beyond the occasional psychopathic giggle or flirt with Chris Pine. Zack Snyder's signature slow motion use extends into this film as well, with a lot of the action scenes taking place at a quarter speed, emphasizing Diana's fighting ability. A few of these scenes are actually good. The skirmish on the beach, the advance into the German front, and the fight in the building are examples of that. Once you get to the point where the film is spending more time slowed down than it is at regular speed, it becomes a real problem. Though there are a few issues here and there, namely the bland battle with Ares, the glossing over of various other interesting characters, and the cheesy moral of the story,
only love can truly save the world.
The film was overall exciting and packs a meaty punch. Drawing emotional connections from the devastating toll on civilian life during World War I and Steve's sacrifice, the film feels fresh and uplifting, with deep messages about humans' willingness to plumb great depths in the name of war, and poignant moments between the two main characters. 8 stars.